You don't know, but I do, that this is take two for the video. Uh, just recorded this a few minutes ago, first time, and I ran out of time. And I don't want to do that, so I really want to cover these things. Hey, welcome back. Glad to see you. Although I don't see you, but I'm kind of excited to get back to teaching again. It's kind of weird teaching, and I'm just looking at a screen of myself or looking at my, whatever I've got on my tablet. I miss seeing y'all big time. Before we start, let's pray together, okay? Hey guys, God, thank you for the men and women that are listening to this. Thank you for my students. I just pray that you would bless them. That God, where there's fear, you would give them hope. That where there's anxiety, you would give them peace. I pray they would be disciplined in doing their work. I pray that you would, God, just give them a clear mind. And God, I pray that our minds this week would be on you as we celebrate Easter coming into this weekend. We celebrate the death and, most important, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. God, that we can have a relationship with you. Thank you for that. All right, we're going to jump on into the PowerPoint. I really want to go back over the PowerPoint on boundaries one more time, just because I don't think I was able to spend enough time on it when I did that last week. So this video is just going to focus on that. Real quick, there'll be an assignment tomorrow that'll be up, and that'll be due by Wednesday afternoon. The assignment tomorrow will be on boundaries. What are your boundaries when it comes to dating? You may have some maybe in your head, but I want you to think about this and write down some boundaries for your dating relationships if you're going to date. One thing I tell parents is their child's not ready to date until they can clearly articulate what their boundaries are for dating. So let's jump on into it. I know we already covered some of this, but I just want to go into a little more depth than I did last time. All right, that's just say clear boundaries. This is commandment number 5. We talked about, hey, what does a good boundary do? It creates freedom for us. That we can make choices based on those things that are our values. What are those most important values for us? We don't want to make decisions based out of fear or guilt. We don't want to stay in a relationship because of those. We don't want to pursue a relationship because of either fear or guilt. We want to be in relationships and make decisions in those relationships based on our values. So let's jump into it with some suggested boundaries. We already talked about, hey, first boundary is being equally yoked. Christian with Christian, non-Christian with non-Christian. Hey, no missionary dating. None of this, I'm going to lead somebody to Christ. It's deceptive. It's just wrong. Don't do it. Well, at the same time, if you're not a believer, don't fake like you are because there's a guy or a girl that is a Christian and you want to go out with. You just got to be honest about that. We're going to look at it later. Missionary dating is going to get you into trouble. Paul tells us the boundaries that, hey, bad morals corrupt good morals every time. Most often when somebody's in a missionary dating relationship, it's the believer that gets pulled down to the level of the non-believer, not the other way around. Time alone. Hey, be careful. That's when you get into trouble. Let's face it, when you're around other people, that isn't typically the time we struggle with our boundaries. And let's face it, probably the biggest struggle that we have, that I think every couple is going to face dating, and that is that temptation toward crossing bounds of sexual immorality. Now, there's other issues that that we have in relationships, and we'll look about some of those later on. We talk about some of the warning signs, but just be really careful. In the video series that you're going to have an option to watch, either that or read a book, the guy in teaching talks about how one of the boundaries he and his now wife had when they were dating was they would never be alone together in either of their apartments. They always made sure that somebody else was around. And that was just to protect them from, falling into temptation that's going to be there. Hey, just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you're not going to have the temptation. You are. Just don't put yourselves in those situations to be tempted. Hey, watch the total time you spend together. We've already mentioned this before. Hey, leave room for other people's. Make sure your other relationships. Make sure that at this stage in your life, dating is in the proper priority list. And right now, that's pretty down. It's going to move higher up the older you get, and especially once you get into college and out of college. But for right now, just limit the total time you spend together. Don't let one person dominate your life, especially to the detriment of your other relationships. Hey, be careful where you go. There's just some places you shouldn't go. Bedrooms, don't go there. Nothing good's going to happen there. Hey, any place that you're going to be alone, as we said earlier. There's probably some parties that you know that drinking and alcohol and no supervision is going to be. Stay away from those. You're just setting yourself up for problems. There'd probably be other places that you might not want to go. Again, keep in mind the other things we talked about, total time, especially time alone, parked cars. Be careful. Hey, what are activities that you do together? Now, I've seen some pretty crazy ones. Again, anything that's going to cause you to struggle with lust, and you've got to know yourself, anything that might put you in a position where you may make an unwise decision. Now, there was a couple called the DeMarcos. They wrote a book, and it was in their book about dating. They each wrote a separate one. They both talked about the idea that they had struggles with tickle fights. That's not something my wife would ever struggle with. But hey, if it is, then you shouldn't be doing that. Is you come into situations that cause you to struggle with lust, that's somewhere you ought to put a boundary. I've known people in the past, couples that have come to me. This girl, for some reason, she really liked having her feet rubbed, and he would do it, but it really caused her to struggle with lust. Well, the answer was simple. Don't rub feet together. I've heard from people who a certain kind of music made them struggle with lust. Hey, whatever causes you to struggle in that, whatever kind of activities, don't do those. Put a boundary around those activities. Physical, we'll talk a lot more about this later, but the bottom line is, for a Christian or a non-Christian, you ought to shoot for purity in your relationships. One of the things you're going to see later on that you're going to hear from some videos we watch, hey, sex masks problems. Sex just creates incredible complications in the relationship, and we'll talk a lot about that. If you think about it, the only thing that really separates a close relationship with somebody of the opposite sex and somebody you're dating usually is the physical. Another thing, the time you spend together, but really it's the physical that makes that so different. And that's probably something that really shouldn't be there. We're going to talk about boundaries on sex later on, but that's obviously a big thing. The two go together, boundaries in dating and boundaries in sex. No alcohol or drugs. They're going to get you into trouble. People do things they wouldn't normally do when they're under the influence of alcohol or drugs. If you've got if your guy's drinking too much, or if, drugs are involved, hey, just get away from them. Tell them to take you home, call somebody to come pick you up. Don't mess around with that. Now, this is one that's sort of a crazy one, but it's, hey, what not to wear? One of the big issues that we got to deal with is this issue of lust. It's we said it, the over-intensification, natural desire to the point they cannot be righteously satisfied. When you start fantasizing, when your mind starts going to places that you know are off limits until marriage. When we think about this, ladies, we're actually probably talking to you, and the reason why is the number one stimulation for guys when it comes to sexual desires is what they see. And so we struggle enough with it, ladies. We don't need you to help us there. So what are just some basic rules? Well, in the Bible, it talks about to dress modestly, and it specifically speaks to women. And modestly means don't wear something that draws attention to the sexual parts of your body. We live in a culture that sort of celebrates, and sex sells. And so much of what's out there as far as fashion is intended to draw attention to the sexual parts of your body. So, if you're going to be different from the world, the way you dress is going to be one of them. Hey, what are some basic rules? Hey, nothing too tight, nothing too short. Nothing too revealing. Be careful of those, tops and V-necks that really, sort of give an arrow straight down to the cleavage. Be careful of that. Really, really short dresses, skirts, shorts, things that are just really, really tight. Ladies, especially you in a dating relationship, don't do that. You know, and I know you're saying, well, it's not my fault if he lusts and anything. No, it's not. But Scripture does say that we have a responsibility not to cause our brother to stumble. And I'm just telling you, guys are going to struggle with lust, and we need you to help us out there. Now, there's some areas I don't know what you do. We've thought about this before with other classes. I don't know what you do with a bathing suit, guys. Y'all are just in trouble. You just got to have incredible discipline. And I don't even know how you do it. It's maybe the hardest place and the hardest, to really deal with this thing about what not to wear. Hey, no deception. Openness is going to be the basic part of a relationship. The next, honesty and, no deception sort of go hand in hand. If you don't like something, say so. If something makes you feel uncomfortable, tell them that. But on the other hand, it also means this: don't try to act like something you're not. Don't change who you are to try to impress this other person. If they can't like you and care for you and want to be with you because of who you are, why would you want to be with them in the first place? Hey, don't lead somebody on. And I know that people are going to be at different places. I'm trying to watch the time here. And you can't help that, but just be clear about your intentions. I think that it's always good that as you move on in a relationship, just to say where you are. If you ought to be honest enough and be able to say, hey, I really like you, and, I think maybe there's something here, and I'd like to continue in this relationship. How do you feel? Hey, make sure you're open and honest about that. Again, going back to that first thing about boundaries, sometimes we're sort of scared to what the other person's going to say. That's kind of crazy. You want relationships, you're going to be open and honest about your intentions. Hey, don't leave someone off. And when it's time to end the relationship, it's okay to say, hey, this just isn't going anywhere. I don't see this being long term. And end the relationship. Hey, listen to your friends and parents. They see things that you often don't see. Sometimes the adage is, sometimes you can't see the forest because you're too close to the trees. The tree's right in front of your face, and you don't see some of the issues and problems there. Hey, listen to your friends and parents when they're sharing things with you. And that ends the thing. That ends this session. Our next one, we'll talk about that later in the week. Start off talking about saving sex for later. Going back real quick and looking at these boundaries. Hey, these are some great boundaries. Hey, make your boundaries personal, especially on the assignment you're going to do tomorrow. Make it personal to you. Don't just try to list out all these things. And there's a whole lot of other areas that boundaries, that what they should be for you. A part of that is know yourself and be able to do that. Hey, I mentioned in the email about the assignment next week. You're going to have the opportunity to be either reading a book or watching a video series and then doing a report on those. That's going to be up later this afternoon, on Monday afternoon. I'm recording this on Monday morning. All right, guys, I love you. Cannot wait to see y'all again. And ciao.